Hey guys, Magic here. Uh, Obviously not with my little dragon friend. um, Draven's not a big fan of letting me have my ears in my dragon, so I had to take them off earlier because he was out here playing with me. But today I want to talk about mistakes. Mistakes are okay. Like, we all feel really bad when we make them, but they're really how we learn. Like, we teach our children mistakes are okay because it'll help you learn and grow. And then when we become older, sometimes as early as like teenagers or sometimes even just middle school, we're taught that mistakes are bad and always bad, and that's just not true. Mistakes are just errors. They help us learn and grow, and they're kind of like a mistake. Like, whenever in the movies they have those little clipboard thingies and they're like, take one, it's kind of like one of those that failed. Um, Sometimes mistakes are misguided attempts to help or do something. Um, so sometimes we just need another chance to redeem ourselves and to learn something and to grow because we weren't careful enough or because we didn't think things all the way through, so we can learn how to do things better. So instead of being like, oh, well, I made a mistake, so I'm bad, then we just need to be like, well, I made a mistake, but that's okay because I'm human and humans make mistakes and I can learn from it and I will do better next time. Learn from your mistakes so you don't repeat them. That's why history will keep repeating itself, because humans don't seem to learn from their mistakes. So learn from your mistakes so the history of your life can stop repeating itself. And the unfortunate thing about mistakes is we are human. We are bound to make them, and we never know when we're making a mistake. It always seems like a good idea at the time. If it didn't, we wouldn't do it. Sometimes we have an intuitive feeling that it's a mistake, but then we ignore that and go ahead and do the action anyway and then regret it. So follow your heart, I guess. Follow your instinct, your intuition, whatever you want to call it. Don't let your idea of what other people expect from you cause you to do things that you know aren't in the best interest for you. Because sometimes when we know what we would be in our best interest, we make a mistake by going with what we think other people want from us, and that's kind of inappropriate. But we don't really know it at the time. We just like, oh, well, this will make them happy, so I'm going to go ahead and do this thing. And then we're like, oh, well, I knew that was a bad idea. A lot of time mistakes happen because we don't really know what's going to happen from our actions or the choices that we make. We can't think about what's going to possibly happen in every future scenario, so we don't know all the outcomes. So we make a decision and we just weren't expecting what happened afterwards to happen. Sometimes we make mistakes by trying to do what we think is in the best interest of ourselves or others, and because sometimes we can't always know what's in the best interest of other people. Sometimes we don't even know what's in our best interest, and so we tend to make a decision without thinking it through. And sometimes we make mistakes when we say something or do something and then we realize that it was wrong, or that we were trying to control them in some way, or that we were trying to change things, or that the way that it sounded was bad. As long as you're not intentionally choosing to do bad things, I don't really think that you could be considered quote unquote bad, because there isn't something such as intentional choice, and where we are aware of the decision we're making. We know because we've done it before how it'll turn out, and we choose to keep making the same bad choices or cross boundaries or whatever. We're conscious of the action that we're taking. I wish that at that point that's no longer a mistake. That is a choice. If you've done it before and you know the outcomes and you continue to do the thing, you're no longer making a mistake. You are making a choice. You are making a life decision. That's not a mistake anymore. A mistake is something that happens once, maybe twice, but never more than that. Hardly ever even twice if it's the same mistake, because typically we should learn from it. If we're making the same mistake twice, obviously we didn't learn. If we make it more than that, we're making a choice. We need to understand our motives behind the stuff that we choose to do, because our outcomes are manifestations of the choices that we make, whether we make those choices by following the truth, or if we make those choices out of a distorted or fear-filled place. And we shouldn't be leading from fear. We should be leading from love. We should make choices from a place of love and serenity, and not a place of fear and hopelessness. So we need to be present in everything and think about what we're doing and what we're saying and what actually is underneath what we're thinking and feeling in the moment, instead of just going off of a whim in that moment. We also need to try to think of why other people are motivated to like act that way towards us, because sometimes people are just like venting, like they're having a bad day and they need to and they just want to take it out on somebody. So sometimes they redirect that anger at someone who does not deserve it. But we need to be conscious of those motives and choose to respond to it rather than react. Because when we react, we just add fuel to the fire, and then it's just a blaze. But if we can respond with kindness, we can put out the flames and increase the level of peace in this world. And that is the real goal here, guys. So I hope that this video has helped you in some way. As always, love always wins. So go out and spread the love, okay? Bye.